Alrighty there. Hello, folks, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses. I probably should have waited to do that introduction, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Let's see. Well, in any case, let me get started by sharing a link around, and then we'll be able to go right into exploring the monastery again. I have no idea if I should be cutting monastery exploration in or out or not, but whatever. I'm sure we will figure out the right thing to do. And then as we go along, I am not too sure if I'm going to do, let's see. Not sure if I'm just gonna do one chapter or I'll just keep going until I get bored. Probably get bored. Which is probably after one chapter, because chapter 5 tends to take a while. In fact, as this game goes on, the chapters tend to take longer and longer and longer, so that's a thing that we might have to consider. If they take too long, then I might even have to split them up into multiple parts in the middle of a chapter, but we'll see. Alright, anyway, I have shared that around. We are good to go. Woo. Alright, let's start exploring, shall we? Alrighty. Yeah, although I think I might eventually start getting to a point where I don't even want to do monastery exploration anymore, in which case I could always just do my in-between chapter stuff off screen. But it's tough to say. I don't know what people will or won't want to see. When I was doing that draft, which unfortunately I can't finish anymore, very sorry about that if anyone was actually looking forward to that, but whatever. What was I going on about? Oh, right, yeah, I'm not sure if people actually do want to see the stuff in the monastery, but I did cut pretty much everything out except for the individual chapters when I was doing the draft, and that kind of made it difficult to keep track of what I was doing with each student and what sort of progress they were making, especially since I recorded that footage so far in advance that, oh, I skipped over fish stuff. Flame goes on and on about fish a lot. It's very weird. Oh, right. But cutting out all the footage except for the chapters stuff made it very difficult to keep track of how much progress I was making with each student and where they were in terms of progress onto their next class, their final class, and what skills they were learning, etc. So, by putting the monastery exploration on screen and all that fun stuff, it should be easier for me and for you to keep track of who's doing what, when, where, why, how, and all that fun stuff. I've also been sipping on an energy drink, and I'm pretty sure it's working because I feel more hyper than ever before. Oh my goodness, there's a quest over here. We shall acquiesce to the quest. Mata. I think that means something. I do not know. Oh no, I'm losing frames. Internet, why would you let me down? Alright, we're just gonna pick Claude. Why not? I heard the voice actor for Claude actually did, streamed his own playthrough of this game. And then obviously named his, he made a female, Byleth named her, Claudia, and then Claude and Claudia got married. Very, very funny. Anyway, this is the, bathhouse or steam house or whatever. The ultimate goal is to try and get, Byleth plus whoever you invite in to be fully relaxed. I would just recommend focusing on Byleth exclusively. The students are so easy to train that Byleth is really the only one you need to worry about. Anyway, successful completion of that mini game results in the units who are feeling relaxed getting skill experience boosts for the whole month. So if I do any training with Byleth at all during this month, sorry, Adele, then she actually gets a little bit extra EXP. And a little bit of extra EXP can go a very long way. Which is the ultimate goal. Open up. I want to go into the church. Wow, that is something I have never said before. Anyway. Sorry, force of habit to keep going down this way. Anyway. So for now, just let me know if you want me to cut out monastery exploration and all the in-between chapter stuff. I can at least cut out a little bit of it off screen, but otherwise kind of tough to cut all that out in the middle of a playthrough unless I just skip it entirely, which I am not practiced at doing, so if I started doing that now, it would probably make my playthrough seem very, very, very weird. But I can try to be as speedy as possible. So, that quest that Flame gave us, that unlocked this thingy here, so we can start repairing the statues, and the statues will give us bonuses based on how much we repair them. I'm not too sure what you can usually get in terms of repairment, because the amount of repairs depends on, well, you have to spend renown to repair them, and the reason I've got so much renown is because of the pay-to-win DLC. Really, they should not make DLC so pay-to-win. But then again, it's not like the Chalice of the Beginning, the Chalice of Beginnings, and all the renown I got. Oh wow, I keep dropping frames. This is bad. Right, anyway, it's not like that's all tied to, or that's exactly free. I did get a bunch of it, or you actually have to beat the DLC in order to get any of that, so that's a thing. Silver linings and all that, I suppose. Right, one more, and then I should be able to give all the rest to the English statue. I'm not too sure if I'm going to do that, though. We'll see, we'll see. But yeah, these upgrading these statues, it marks the point where you're able to invest much more significantly into Byleth. So, since all these things that I'm getting, bow skill +1, brawling skill +2, that affects the skill experience for Byleth as well as the rest of Byleth's class. Or I should say students. Class refers to how well she fights, in. Anyway. So yeah, having access to that and marks the real turning point for when you can actually start to invest pretty heavily into Byleth and start getting them the skills they need to promote into better classes, especially on Maddening, since this is also the point where you're starting to get to level 10-ish, and that's when you get to the intermediate classes, and the intermediate classes are very important. Chapter 5 is also the most optimal time to recruit most students. There are a few exceptions to that. I'm gonna try, hopefully I can get Caspar now, but if not, oh well. Caspar is actually one of the students that you normally would want to wait one more chapter to get. Alright, we got Caspar! Yeah, but the reason I want to recruit Caspar sooner rather than later is actually because I'm going to be memeing a lot with him. I'm going to put him into a meme class that ironically might actually be his best possible build, ? Well, best outside of Wyvern Rider, because Wyvern Rider's just that amazing.
Sensei, お疲れ様です。本日も異常なしであります。あ、前節は異常ありでしたね。先生のご活躍で事なきを得たとか、賊の侵入に気づかないとは 不甲斐ない
Alright,
門番
I
で
don't know
申
if
し
I
訳あり
finished
ません
this thought before, but if there aren't enough characters to name Byleth Professor, you'd be one F short. So I think it's an F, maybe it's an S. But you can name them Sensei, because there's enough characters for that. So, you know what, on my next playthrough, and from now on, I think that's what I'll name Byleth. Sensei, because that's what everybody calls them. Alright. So this unlocks the ability to forge and repair weapons, which ultimately makes most weapon durability frivolous. Since you're able to repair weapons, as long as you have the resources to repair and upgrade them, it doesn't really matter how much you use a weapon, you can just hack away at it. In other Fire Emblem games, I know I'm guilty of this, I would tend to hoard all my good weapons and just rely on very basic stuff because I wouldn't want to risk breaking something before I need it, and then next thing I know it's the end of the game because I didn't want to use that really powerful weapon against the big dragon. Because what if I need it for the credits? But more seriously, if you need to use a weapon earlier in the game, like a good example would be Marcus's Silver Lance in Fire Emblem 7, then go ahead and pop it right away. If you do not have Sylvain before Chapter 5, I would recommend picking him up in Chapter 5 if you are able. Having Sylvain in your class for Chapter 5 is necessary to get the Lance of Ruin early, and getting the Lance of Ruin early is a very good thing. And then, as Catherine demonstrated in Chapter 3, she is OP as all get out. So I'm gonna grab her just to make this chapter easier. I'm not sure if I'm gonna use her long term, but for short term, I'm gonna abuse the ever-loving shit out of her. Alright. In any case, if you did actually want to use Sylvain, he is a very, very strong unit. I'm not sure how top tier he is, but he is just really good because he gets Swift Strikes, a lance-related combat art that hits twice in a row. Alright, Seteth has 2 quests for us, and then hit the quest Seteth gave us is one where we have to go out and fight things, which is why I wanted to have to get the C plus professor rank before or during this month. But we got the other one down in the marketplace. The one in the marketplace is much more important, so if you do need to prioritize, do that one instead. Let's see. Confidence herbs for Ignatz. Yeah, giving students gifts also boosts their motivation. So if you don't want to invest in food, or you don't have enough food to feed them, you can give them gifts instead. And I think once we actually unlock those merchants, they'll have more gifts for us to use. But the more important thing about the merchants is that one of them will start selling seeds for us to plant, as well as what's the other thing I'm talking about? Why can't I think today? Oh right, the other thing they sell is the stuff we need to use the blacksmith. So to keep constantly repairing our gear and all that fun stuff. So let's see. Hopeful herbs for Marianne. There we go. I already mentioned it, but there is one possible route where you can marry Rhea, and the possibility of marrying Rhea kind of grosses me out, because she's in a very strange position where it's like she's simultaneously your grandmother and your daughter. I don't know. It's weird. I hate it. Yeah. Shut up, Gerald. I don't care about love. Alright, let's make sure we have enough students motivated. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay, and we can tutor 5, so I just need to get either Caspar or Balthus or Hilda. Caspar, Balthus, or Hilda. In the meantime, we can also start to focus on boosting support ranks with Mercedes and Linthart, so we can do all of our Part 2 paralogs. Yay! Alright, and yeah, I'll get more into talking about Caspar's ideal class line once we get to the end of the week. Here we go, Hilda and Caspar. I guess I could just go into it now. So what I plan to do with Caspar is turn him into a dark mage. It's an oddly interesting choice for Caspar because dark mage gets a skill called Heart Seeker. And Heart Seeker reduces the avoid of adjacent or enemy units that are standing next to him by 5 points. Not 5, 10. By 10 points, units, I don't know. Anyway, that stacks with Caspar's personality, which is exactly the same thing. So, if you have Caspar as a Dark Bishop stand next to an enemy, that reduces their avoid by 20, effectively giving everyone in your group hit plus 20. But it's also a little bit, well, I was going to say difficult, but not really. And I was going to say tricky, but also not really. It's a little bit tedious to get Caspar into a Dark Bishop because that requires about an A in authority. I mean, that's what the thing says to pass it. And Caspar has an authority Bane, so he actually struggles to learn, or to, not authority, Reason Bane. That's what I meant to say, Reason. Says it requires a reason. He has a Reason Bane, so he has a tough time getting up to it. But he can. Honestly, the Reason Bane isn't really all that difficult to work through. It just takes time. But since Reason would technically be the only skill he needs, he can also just focus on it exclusively. Alright, anyway. Tournament time. House versus house tournament. Lance tournament. Who do we even enter? You know what? We just grabbed... No. We're gonna enter Catherine. Oh my god, this is cheating. Catherine will also get to demonstrate how OP she is, because she has basically no Lance experience, and she is going to dominate here. But yeah, Swordmaster might be one of the weakest advanced classes in the game, but it's more than good enough. Anyway, please, just a second. There we are, sorry about that. Yeah, as you can see, Catherine won no problem. Swordmaster may not be a strong class, but it's more than strong enough to handle beginner and intermediate classes. Actually, I think they were all in basic classes. Tough to say. Tough to say. What isn't so tough to say is that was the last thing we need to do, so we're gonna go to Abyss and talk to our second best waifu, the Abyss Keeper. Alrighty. And then, oddly enough, I think you can also enter in anyone you grab for mission assistance into those tournaments in the arena. So, if you think a particular student would have a better chance of winning, or a particular out-of-house student would have a better chance of winning than anyone you currently have recruited, you can just grab them temporarily for the chapter. Alright. Oh, right, one thing I mentioned, or should mention before I go through to the next week, is that a big reason to try and recruit most out-of-house students in this chapter is because that if you recruit them now, they'll still be in their beginner classes, so it's the last chance to grab them while they're beginners, which is especially important for characters going to Mage and Fighter. That was my phone. So that way they can get their free auto increase in ranks they don't normally increase. It's a bit niche, but it's pretty much the best point to grab students.
先生、お疲れさんです。見ての通り、本日も異常ありですよ。前節は地上も異常ありだったんですよね。そのせいでまだいるんですよ、この人。
セテス様のご指示だ。念のため今節もここを見張るようにと。
まあ、俺は慣れちまいましたけど。 ユーリスは通るたびに睨んでいきますよ。
That took care of almost everything, but I realized I forgot something. We gotta go back to the monastery. I also forgot to read their conversation, so I have no idea what those two were going on about. I do not speak Japanese. Yet. Alrighty, let's see here. Oh, yes. I wanted to grab a mission assistant student. I guess we could also try and grab Cyril. I think I'm a high enough level to grab him, but I don't plan on using him, so I'm not gonna bother. Alright, I wanted to grab Lindhart, wherever he's hiding. Maybe over here? Yes, I think he's... Oh, wait, I can just walk around. I don't need to fast travel, because I'm already there. Woo! Man, they really need to put a search feature on that map if they insist on us having to run around to find students. Alright, mission assistance. Lindhart, you're going to help us out now. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. And then we save. We have saved. And now we're going to move on. I don't feel like Oh, I did forget something. We can't end that free day yet, folks. As there is something very tedious we must do, and we can only do it today. Yeah. On the plus, semi-related, I am excited for Pokemon Scarlet and or Violet to come out. I plan on only getting one of them. I'm just gonna get Scarlet. But yeah, the whole reason I've been streaming so much lately is in preparation for Scarlet. Because I am totally going to stream my first playthrough of that. Honestly, it's a habit I should be getting into. Have my first playthrough at least streamed of these new games that come out, so that way people I have that first time experience documented. Alright, speaking of first time experiences, we are going to fish again for the first time. The reason why you want to fish today specifically is because there's an event called Fistfuls of Fish. So every time you cast your line and pull something out, it's going to pull out a bunch of fish, not just one like it normally does. So fishing today, and today only, is the best use of all your bait. I think Fistfuls of Fish also pops up one more time in part 2, and it is honestly the only point I would recommend fishing. Also, I'm looking at the OBS screen and not on the TV screen, so my timing might actually be a little bit off, but we'll practice. We get to practice. We're gonna be here for a little bit. as you can see, I'm gonna at least get 2 fish of whatever I fish up. And then the fishing minigame, there's not really much going for it. You just cast your line, and then the moment you see a fish biting, you press the button, and then Byleth will try to fish it up, and then it's just a reflex minigame. If you don't like the fish that's showing up, generally you want to look for red or goldfish shadows, because those are the rarer fish. But there are a limited number of fish that will test the line before you just completely lose your bait. So I would honestly just recommend grabbing the first thing that shows up regardless. There is an exception to that, but we'll get to that when we get to that. For now, I just realized this outfit I got Byleth in, it has a lot of holes in it. Alright, well, no worries. I'm sure she's fine. Woo, we got it. Perfecto! Bullhead, I think that's a pretty rare ingredient to get. Anyway, fishing is also just really, really boring, so I think it's actually more than possible to just skip doing it entirely, if you really do not want to. But if you do want to make the most of your resources, saving all of the bait you find for this day specifically is the best use of those resources. So whatever floats your boat. You could also just gather up all the bait that's sitting around the monastery, fish up at the end of the day, and then go on. Whatever works. But fishing right here and now is also very, very handy because it allows me to increase my professor rank. That is one of the very few things you get out of fishing that is very, very handy, is that it rewards a little bit of professor experience. I mean, so does a lot of things, so, you know, not really much of an accomplishment there for the fishing minigame, but it's something. This is a live stream, so I can't exactly just cut ahead to the more interesting bits, but you know, it's fine, it's fine. I'm sure I'll think of something to ramble on about, and then immediately forget mid-conversation because I get distracted easily, but the TV in the background isn't too loud. I have the volume set a little bit higher than normal. I did want to be able to hear my gameplay a bit better, so I decided to leave the volume at a range where I can hear it, but I hope it's not intrusive. Ideally, anything coming in from the game would be, or any volume that my microphone picking up would be in time with the game, so it wouldn't be obtrusive or anything like that, but you never know. You never know. I forgot to do a test recording before I started streaming. You know, that would also be a handy thing to do. Whatever. I'm not very professional. I probably should work on getting more professional, though. I could probably whip up a very neat-looking thumbnail and be all like, ooh, look at the weird classes I'm putting my students in. I photoshopped their faces onto. But it's fine. It's whatever. Well, I guess I could talk about what I intend to attempt with Caspar. I have never actually tried him out as the Dark Bishop. I think it is the most recommended class to use with him if you're not going to make him a Wyvern Rider. Mainly just because of, he essentially gives everyone hit plus 20 when you position him right next to an enemy unit. That, of course, can be a bit tricky without using up resources to let him move farther. You don't necessarily need to give him boots, but the Dark Bishop does have 4 movement on its own, so that is a bit tricky to work with. But you can use gambits like Stride, or have characters warp him around. If you use all the characters who get movement-related support spells, you should have plenty to go around to put Caspar into position, and then other units. Since all I really need out of Caspar is for him to be in that specific class, my goal with training him up is to make it possible for him to actually do more than just stand there once I get him into position. My evil plan is actually to, in his intermediate class, I'm actually going to have him go into Armor Knight. When you master Armor Knight, you get a skill called Armored Blow, which boosts your defense by 5. Boost your defense by 5 when you initiate the attack. And so I believe that would allow him to safely attack something as I get him into position. That's the plan anyway. We're testing to see how well that works. Alright, let's see. Claude, we want to get... Actually, since I don't really need to work on Claude's ranks at all, more or less, let's focus on our other students instead. Alright, so my evil plan with Lorenz, we want to get him to C bows as quickly as possible. Mission accomplished. Now that he has C bows, I'm going to focus on lances. I believe he learns the combat art Frost Lance at a reasonable level. I hope it's at C, but you never know with these sorts of things. But if he does get it at C, that means he can use magic while I'm training him in archery. And being able to use magic while being able to use his magic stat might be able to net him kills he might otherwise not get. Alright, and Caspar, no, he doesn't even start with armor rank, but it's fine. Caspar only needs to get to D in armor at most in order to unlock Armor Knight. And since he already has CXs, he's actually good to go. Let's see, 2 more. Hilda. Alrighty. Well, since Hilda already has all the faith she needs, I guess I could focus on riding for Hilda, and then we can put her in Valkyrie. That could be another alternative to going to Warlock. I can work on it for the option. But for now, I think I'm just going to focus on her reason. I definitely want to get that out. And yeah, let's just go ahead and train Claude. Oh wait, no, there was someone else I wanted to train. Leone. Because Leone is going to have a bit of a tricky time. Alrighty. Now, we must set our goals. So Claude is good. Lorenz, now that Lorenz has his bow rank up, we're going to focus on lances and faith. And then having his lance rank up will also give him the option to go Holy Knight later if I feel like it. He does have a riding boon, so I can focus on that too if I really want to. Hilda does not have a riding boon, so if I want her to do that, I should consider that now or later. Well, I do really want to get her authority up to focus, so that way she can equip some good battalions, but I think I can make it work with some other battalions. So yes, I will focus on reason and riding for her. We'll try to go into Valkyrie, and then possibly even Dark Knight. You know, we want to keep all of our options open. Leone, since she now has C bows, while I would like to just keep focusing on bows, I'm going to have her focus on axes and flying for now, so that way she can go into Wyvern Rider later. Caspar. Let's see. He only needs a little bit more heavy armor, which I can actually get just by tutoring. do want him to actually learn heal as well, so that way he can earn class experience by doing that. But it might be better to make sure he gets his heavy armor rank. You know what? We're gonna focus the reason and faith. We can easily get his armor rank up. No. We're gonna focus the reason and heavy armor. That's what we'll do. There we go. For Sylvain, I honestly don't really care. I'm not gonna use him long term. But I might. Well, I guess I could have him focus on skills he has that I might want Byleth to train. He actually doesn't have any. Okay, well, you know what? He's fine just like that. Actually, no. Just in case I need to use him later, we're going to focus on lances and riding. I can get him into Paladin, and then he can go from there. Alright, and then Catherine. If we want Catherine to excel, she is going to want to go down the path of... Well, I was going to have her go down the path of Wyvern Lord, but we're gonna have so many flying units. I'm not gonna use her long term anyway, so I guess if I am gonna have her around, that's what she should do. Alright, we're good. Everything is set up. Yes. So let us begin that lecture. One of your students keeps challenging me to fight him, but he has no idea how to wield a sword. It's a waste of time for both of us. What am I supposed to do? Use the fight as an opportunity to teach him, drop a hint that he needs a new training partner. That's the price of fame, you have to put up with it. Teach him while you fight. Jesus, it's not that complicated. You are not changing your focus as Leonie. God, I can't believe I have to spell that out. Yuri's birthday. I don't care about Yuri. Oh God, Leonie's Japanese voice sounds horrible. That was she was supposed to be a spunky girl. She sounds very the opposite of that. Oh, that's a word I've been hearing in my lessons and I don't remember what it is. Alright. Anyway, I didn't get to my desired professor rank from the question at the end of the first week, so we're gonna have to make sure we get it this time. This time for sure! So, let us do what we always do. Alright, with the spa thingy, you only need to do that once a month. If you get the increase on your desired character at the start of the month, you don't need to worry about doing it anymore. Alright. Next, I believe I need to increase 6 units, or restore the motivation for 6 students. 6 units, student units. So let us do that first. Let's see, Claude's already got it, so let's do... Wait, no, we do care about Lysithea. We don't care about the other ones. Let's do Lorenz and Hilda. That'll be dos más. Alright, next. Lysithea and Caspar. That'll be dos más, and then we just need to do it uno más, and then we play Gouda. Alright, that increased our professor rank, and it looks like the only thing that increased from that is our number of activity points, but that is fine. That's exactly what we wanted. Alright, for this last one, let's do Leonie and Balthus. There we go. Now, Balthus actually eating in the place, that's kind of worrying. There is a significant age gap between him and most of the students. At least I think it's significant, because I think he's pushing 30 if I remember correctly. And most of these students are late teens, early 20s. I mean, everyone's a consenting adult, I suppose. So if something does happen, something does happen, but yeah. That doesn't mean I have to be comfortable with it. But then again, they also allow the teachers around, and yeah, and everything is well supervised, so yeah, no need to worry about it, I suppose. I don't know. It's probably a touchy subject I shouldn't have even breached, but whatever, we have already dove in. And we are not Dovin Vaughn, who was a very weird guy from Magic. He's also dead. He's also dead now, so we don't need to worry about him. Let's see. Lindhart Mercedes. Oh, right, and then if you're curious about useful units to recruit out of house, most of the blue lions are actually really good to grab, not necessarily because they're better than any other units you might have started with, but because most of them have paralogs in Part 1. Sylvain has a paralog in Part 1, as does Felix and Ingrid, and Ash technically does too. And then other characters with Part 1 paralogs. Lots of the Golden Deer. Lorenz has one in Part 1. Hilda technically has it in Part 1, but it's not until the very end of Part 1, so it's a little difficult. Oh, we got one more to do. One more activity point. You know what? We're going to learn how to punch people from Rhea. Alright, let's see. And what other paralogs is it going on about? Oh, right. Ignatz and Raphael have a shared paralog in Part 1, but you only need one character in those situations, so recruiting either one lets you the thing for both. Oof, excusez-moi. Alright. That's here. And then Lorenz. Marianne has a Part 2 paralog, but you don't need anyone else for it, which is handy. Let's see. If I was looking at the student list, I'd be able to remember them more offhand. Ash's paralog is tied to Catherine, so if you're able to grab her, you don't necessarily need to grab Ash out of the Blue Lions. But if you're playing on the Beagles, you actually can't recruit Catherine, so it would probably be better to recruit Ash on that route. Because his paralog rewards you with boots. And who doesn't love boots? Alright, let's see here. Alright, and then Shamir and Eloise have a Part 1 paralog, but both of them are very easy to recruit, so no need to worry about that. Ugh. Okay, and then I definitely want to focus on Balthus's bows, because once he gets Archer, he doesn't need to work on his bow rank anymore. Although usually when I do a bow build like I plan to do with Balthus, I end in Assassin, so Assassin needs bows to unlock that class, which he may end up in. Well, actually, no, I don't really want him to end in Assassin, so we'll see. Yeah, let's see here. In Lycitia, if we focus on your faith, you can probably get to B. It just in time for the chapter, too. Mada! She said Mada!
Mada.
Alright, and then one last point, in Thingamadoo-Dad. Well, let's focus Hilda. Yeah, if I do want Hilda to go into Dark Knight, she'll also need to improve her lance rank a smidge. And then now that she has enough reason, I'm going to focus on authority, because I would actually like her to be able to use some battalions. Eventually. Alright, let's see. Alright, I don't think I need to change anyone's goals. I do not. We're good to go. Alright, begin the lecture. No, you are not changing your goals, Sylvain. I do not care. You are only here to get me the Lance of Ruin. And I actually do highly recommend getting the Lance of Ruin as soon as possible. Well, in this in chapter 5, because if you have the Lance of Ruin and you grab a specific recruit in the next chapter, it allows you to get a very, very easy clear. Especially since Lysithea just learned Warp. That is going to be super broken. Alright. Anyway, for this one, we're actually going to do some auxiliary battles. More specifically, we're going to clear the way and then do the one we got from Setethu. I don't know why I pronounced it that way. Eh. And then, let's see, it would have been more ideal to be able to, do these quests in the last free day or a week back, so that way I could explore the monastery this week and then buy some resources with the things we got. But I wasn't able to get it in time, but it's fine. It's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and bring Caspar and Catherine. Now, let's see. Marketplace. Let's make sure our battalions are restored. Since Adele has a C rank, she can get a new battalion. We're going to hire the Knights of Steros. And none of the other units I care about got a C rank yet, but that's fine, that's fine. We can give Caspar our newly abandoned Gerald's Mercenaries. One of the advantages of Gerald's Mercenaries is that they do not cut into magic. So if I get him into using magic before his battalion or his authority rank goes up, then he'll be able to do things better. Alright, anyway. I want to increase or to plus out one item in each character's inventory. Correction, in each of my fighters' inventories. I'm gonna go ahead and do it for Lorenz, because he's been make use of Nosferatu, and he is not very good at it. Caspar is going to have the axe for now, and then Catherine, we're just going to have to buy her items. That was the last thing I could afford to get. Alright, anyway, let's clean up our inventories, shall we? Oh, I forgot to check the recycling bin. I did it. I don't remember. Alright. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Now, we'll probably need those torches later. If I do Catherine's paralog, we'll definitely need them later. So, Catherine, we are going to have her pick up... nothing. But Caspar, we're gonna have him pick up... also nothing. We're just gonna buy the items. Armoring. There. Alright, so Caspar, he's got an Iron Axe Plus, so that's good. Let's just buy an Iron Bow, so that way he can bow him down. Catherine, she's gonna buy an Iron Bow and an Iron Sword, and I think I'll also give her one of those steel swords I got from in my inventory. Just the regular steel sword. I'll keep the steel sword plus in there for emergencies. Let's make sure we got everyone relevant abilities equipped. Elvis doesn't fight with swords, so we can go ahead and equip HP plus 5 instead. I don't know if Lorenz would need close counter. I know he doesn't need reason plus 1, so let's go ahead and equip that. Hilda, you do not need your axe rank, so let's equip authority. You don't need bow prowess. Actually, yeah, you don't need bow prowess, so let's equip HP plus 5. Claude's good. Battalion Vantage? Yeah, I don't really need to equip it. So, that Battalion Vantage that Byleth has there, very, very handy skill to have. certain classes have skills that work when you have lower HP, and then there have versions of them that work when you have a low durability battalion equipped. So, if characters get a useful one for the low battalion version, that tends to be better than having to invest in having them master the class that teaches them the regular version of that skill, because then they have to increase their weapon rank and then all that fun stuff, then they master the class. It's a huge time sink, but if they get the battalion version of that, then they don't really need to worry or care about mastering a class they honestly might not be very good in, because they just have the battalion version of it. Dimitri is a very infamous example, because he gets the unique combination of Battalion Vantage and Battalion Wrath. So as long as Dimitri has a low HP battalion, a low durability battalion equipped, he has Vantage and Wrath with no extra set. It makes him very, very super duper OP. Let's see here. Oh wow, some of these guys have funny hair. Caspar can't quite reach in between. 6. Hilda would boost that by dos. Okay. I think here is what we want to do. We're actually going to curve shot to this guy over here. Oh, got a critical hit. That far, but you got it anyway. Jerk face. Alright. She cannot. Alright. Well, I don't want to break Thunderbrand. I know it's repairable, but I don't want to have to invest too much into repairing it. Alright. Alright, we want to focus on weakening this guy down. And then we want one of our units, our level not 8 or 9 to get the kill. So Lysiphia here. Good job, Lysiphia. Actually, no, that's not it. Let's have Claude. He attacks right here with a curved shot. Gets that guy down to 50. So that is enough for Hilda to finish him off. Possibly. We'll see. It is not. Unless I use Thoron. Do we risk Thoron? We risk Thoron. We risked it off, and it paid off. Okay. Boku. I vaguely know that means mine. And the only reason I know that is because of My Hero Academia, which has Boku in it. No, Caspar got hit. One useful thing about characters actually getting hit like that, anyway, is that it actually boosts, I think it boosts their class experience a smidge, and having a smidge more class experience is always good. And yeah, this is why Catherine is good. Like, yeah, there's her stats. She got like 19 strength, 18 speed. Compare that to Caspar, who has 14 strength and 10 speed. Catherine would also actually have higher defenses if I got rid of her battalion. That's what her personal skill does. It's the defensive version of Felix's personal skill, Lone Wolf, which actually makes Felix a pretty good unit in the first couple of chapters. Alright, anyway, we'll attack from here with Byleth. Sorry, Adele. I mean, I probably could use the Gator, but that seems like a hassle. castle one. I really didn't feel like it. Okay, and then Lysithea can finish this guy.
当然の勝利でしょうね。
Yay, level up. Okay. And then we have Caspar
Not the
attack
direction.
right here. Have him actually trade the training gauntlets up for Adele, so that way she's fisting. Okay, this time Caspar did not get a crit. That was someone else, like Balthus. Who I should honestly be letting people chip, so that way his HP is... Right, and then, one special thing to note about this auxiliary battle, or these auxiliary battles, is that they do, the enemies in them do count for, Anna's quest line. So, a few of these enemies, one, maybe two, they're likely going to have the trade secrets on them, so that'll contribute to that quest. Good job, Adele. You are fisting so well. Actually, she kicked him, so I guess she's footed. Alright, one thing I mentioned was that recruiting Caspar in Chapter 6 as actually better than recruiting him now. The whole reason for that is that Caspar, he auto-promotes into the Brigand class, and as a Brigand, he would actually get, he would have a bit higher stats. He'd auto-level to 11 as a Brigand, and Brigand has much better growth rates than Fighter does. So it would give him a pretty good head start if he if he went into that class instead of grabbing him earlier. But because I planned on doing funny things with Caspar, I wanted to grab him earlier, sooner rather than later. Another unit who actually benefits from being recruited much later, well, I shouldn't really say much, definitely the time to go for students who benefit more from their advanced class, or, sorry, their intermediate class. But there are a couple other ones who do highly benefit from that. The most notable is actually Ingrid. Ingrid comes into Pegasus Knight, but she uses the enemy-exclusive version of Pegasus Knight, which is actually an advanced class. So she gets even better growth rates if she's allowed to auto-level as a Pegasus Knight. So Ingrid is actually a student who does much better if you grab her out of house than she would if she's in-house. That said, though, she's still not all that good. Ingrid is kind of really bad. But she is much better out of house than in-house, so if you want to use Ingrid, I would recommend grabbing her for the Beagles or the Golden Deer, generally speaking. Okay. Anyway, the whole reason I had Caspar move here is because I figured this guy would either go for Lorenz, and he could only hit from this spot, or he'd go for Caspar. And in both cases, Caspar debuffs him, so we're good. I could be focusing the kills into one unit. If I focus them all into Adele, she'd be able to get into an intermediate class right away. But I kind of don't want to have to do that. Well, I guess not have to. I kind of want to get everything a bit more leveled up. Oh, wow. That Seal's speed really pays off. Makes Hilda... Having Seal access to Seal speed does make Hilda pretty useful for grabbing units in the... using her to pull enemy units. I think she can actually get quite dodgy, and she also gets Battalion Wrath, so she'll be very good at drawing the enemies in and all that fun stuff. or good at drawing enemies in and potentially killing them on a counterattack if her battalion gets damaged. And then she has Seal Speed, so any survivors will have reduced avoid. If she has that equipped, of course. But it might actually work better. Got better for Hilda if you just focus on getting to the one-hit kills rather than the enemy surviving an encounter with her, because Seal Speed will not trigger if she misses the enemy or does not counterattack. Seal Speed will only activate during successful attacks. In Fates, they actually did have it where the seal skills would work even if you miss, or even if you didn't even retaliate. I think they decided to change it though because that was very annoying. Fire Emblem Fates. I certainly was not a big fan of it. It did make it a lot easier to work with, but more often than not, it was something that your enemies took advantage of. Player ever really.
こっちは片付いたよ。
Actually don't need to really heal Lorenz, because Lorenz heals himself, just like this. Watch. Just like that, he is healthy again. Thunder this guy right here. Good job, Hilda. Let Caspar finish that guy.
本気出しちゃったじゃない。
As he cannot safely attack this main,
Mada,
and if
mada.
I had smashed
Don't
on the
mada,
other
neze.
side, I would have severely weakened him. Caspar is also at a higher level than most of the class, so it's probably better to not feed him too many kills if I can avoid it for now. And one of those great secrets I was talking about. You can just leave them in the characters' inventories or just put them into the convoy if your characters are limited inventory space. When you complete the quest, Anna just automatically takes them out for you, so you don't need to worry about it. Let's see. And yeah, since Lysophia knows Warp now, whenever she moves, it's going to highlight all the units in her range as possible assist partners because she can warp. Alright. That is going to be a weird formation. Now what we're going to do to get around that? We're going to stride. Yeah. We're going to kick. We're going to take these guys out in one punch, man. Alright, starting with... I think we want to start with Catherine. We do not want to start with Catherine. Jesus Christ, she kicks out everybody. Okay, so we're going to start with Hilda from right here. There we go. Hilda is now the boss. Yay! That too. Let's see if I can promote this. I have no idea what you just said.
Yoku
This, but I'm
nigedasanaakatta
sure
mon
you
da.
were happy about it.
また喧嘩が面白くなるな。
Let's see here. But I guess Hilda can also, well, technically any unit can work with a low hit point build, so it doesn't necessarily have to be exclusively whoever I highlight. But I was going to bring up Hilda for the low HP builds because of... actually, now I don't even know why I was going to bring that up. Well, ideally, with low HP, another useful skill you can potentially get your hands on is the, what's it called again? Oh, they're all called Defiant skills, so Defiant Strength, Defiant Speed, yada yada yada. Caspar, why'd you pull a crit? I want to defeat that someone else.
よっしゃ大勝
You
利
know what I'm gonna have to do now?
私もやる気
I'm
出
gonna
て
have
きた
to instead have Lorenz nos this guy. Actually, he might have gotten more experience than It's fine. It's fine. And then Lysithea finishes the job.
Hi, おしまい
Oh yeah, Defiant skills. Those are all skills that also activate at low HPs, and well, a lot of them tend to be on weird classes. So Defiant Strength is on Hero, which for some odd reason is a male-exclusive class. So unfortunately, ladies can't get it normally. I think you can buy it for female Byleth to equip if you've gotten it on male Byleth before, but I don't really recommend low HP builds on Byleth since you can get since they can restore their hit points pretty unreasonably. Let's see. Alright, this map is pretty much exactly the same, so we're gonna reposition our units just the same way. Let's see.
いらっしゃい
We had a few battalions get injured. That's Judah.
またの
I don't think I really need to worry about any weapons or anything like that. No, I think we're good to just jump right on in and begin. Let's see.
私
Those
です
defiant
か
skills, they all activate with low HP.
ありがと
Or
これ
low
でいけ
HP
る
amounts.
う
So
私
they're
に
pretty,
任せてください
really handy, and they also make a lot of low HP builds seem even more viable than before.
今鐘の落ちる音が
Uh,
気のせいか
there we go. There we go.
私ですか
Yeah, that seems.
やだ汗かいちゃったまだまだ
Yeah,
か弱い
the
乙女
Defiant
ですよ
Strength is on Hero, and I think that's actually the only Defiant skill that's on an
さあどうするんだ
advanced class. All the other ones, they seem to be on
ぼちぼち動くか
on
僕の出番のようだな
things. Defiant Speed, that's on Falcon Knight, which is annoying. Yeah, because only girls can get into Falcon Knight. But I guess that makes up for the boys' strength. And then some more there. Lorenz, why can't you get the kill? You're supposed to be better at this. Oh, God, you're even worse with the iron bow. Alright, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. We can have Adele fist this guy into a kill range for Lorenz. Honestly, I forget all the other ones, but the point is they're all on master classes, I think. So they're really annoying to get to. So if you're going to do a low HP build, it's usually best to just focus in on getting
我ながら
the
見事だ
pretty much the good ones are Defiant Strength and
手を
Defiant.
抜いたつもり
Balthus can actually go for Defiant Defense. That's on Great Knight, but he does have Bane's in Great Knight skills. I think it's just the writing. But it's a bit difficult for Balthus to
ここで手こ
qualify
ず
for
ってる
Great
場合じゃ
Knight.
ないんだ
Man, they don't show his Bane's and moves on the screen. And I'm not even sure it's worth it, to be perfectly honest, because he can't really meme as well as a Great Knight as other units can.
立ちふさがる者は
I feel like some
みんなぶっ
Mercedes
倒す
make for oddly good.
おっしゃ行く
No,
ぜ
just- I'm not sure good's the right word. Weird Great Knights. Weirdly effective, I guess is the right word, although I haven't actually gotten Mercedes Great Knight in a video before. Get better at doing that. Alright, I forgot. Ouchies. Alright. Anyone's still at level 7. Leone and Lysithea. Oof, excuse me. Oh my goodness.
当然の勝利でしょうね。
We only could get a kill if I had enough durability left to use Tempest Lance, which I do not. Alright, new plan. We have Lorenz use Norse right here. Aw, yeah. And then Leone can get the kill even at this range. Yeah, I probably won't need to hunt for positions to use Leone and Hilda's personal skills as much as we go forward. Whatever. No, I might actually need to do that a bit more, but I don't expect I'll have to. There we go.
異物にも教師はあるんでね。
Yeah, let's go ahead and sort of the creator. Show it off. Why not? It's a plastic toy sword to me, but that's just me.
邪魔するやつはぶっ飛ばす。
First more often than not, since he's the one who will deboof people as he sees them, or yeah, gets in their melee range. So it might be better to get in the habit of using them first at the start of a turn or whatever. Alrighty, let's see here. Well, let's develop that habit right now. Kasparu. Now let's attack from here with bow. I know he can support with Hilda, so if I have Hilda equipped Thoron, that'll boost his hit rate up a bit. But it still might be better to actually let him get the kill. He's a little bit higher level than most of our other units. There we go. I don't know what you just said, Balthus, please.
やるまで力の差がわからねえのか。
Lysithea, heal him up. Yay! So, the beginner classes, they all teach a skill that boosts one stat by 2 points, and then they also all get, should have had Hilda heal up Violet. Whatever. Anyway, they all get a skill that boosts one stat by 2 points, as well as a movement-related combat arts. Or combat arch. Pretty much every one of the beginner classes is useful in one way or another. I forgot to equip him with an axe. So, Monk is very, very handy for that handy hit plus, or magic plus 2. I would highly recommend it whenever you're using an unorthodox mage, like Hilda. I definitely want Lorenz to pick up magic plus 2, so... yeah, let's have him attack. And finish the job with... well, not exactly finish, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Kaspar's personal ability is paying him, working out right now. Alright, and then we thunder him. There we go. Alrighty.
あ弱い私に負けちゃう
Looks like one might be interested in going for Caspar. So let's go ahead and heal him up. Hilda, just for a little bit of extra XP.
ごめんね
Yeah, I should also probably be focusing on healing with Lorenz more often. One other useful tip for, well, anyone who's going to go into a magic class, pick up heal even if you don't want the character to learn that much faith. Being able to heal when, they'll always have access to heal if they learn it, so, and being able to heal in any class, quick and easy source of class experience and regular experience. It might not always be as much as defeating an enemy or anything like that. Well, I mean, class experience, they always reward the same amount. But the point is it gives you another outlet for earning experience for mastering classes. So it allows mages to master whatever classes you get them into faster. Well, any of them that can use magic at the very least. If they don't actually learn how to use heal, then they're more or less forced to rely on being offensive in order to master their classes better. And that tends to be really tedious. I also probably should have
私を侮るからです
low. You know what? It's fine. We can have Balthus punch him from his side. And finish the job. I gotta stop his bad cooking so quickly.
俺と勝ち合ったのが運の尽きよ
But yeah, being able to heal whenever and wherever and all that fun stuff. Very, very handy stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and have Leonie... Oh, better idea. Let's have her attack from right here instead. That'll boost her damage output a little bit. Get it! Yay! My battalions are all leveling up. And then Hilda's being a good advocate. I was thinking I would have to move within range of bonuses, but I forgot.
悪いが俺の勝ちだ
Here's what we'll do. Hilda will go down here to heal Lorenz. Woo! And yeah, also having access to heal on Hilda, that has me thinking I can at least get her a little bit of faith experience if I decide I want her to go into Gremory instead of just Warlock or one of the mounted mages. I guess I could also have her go Dark Flower. Not Dark Flower, Hilda, but Warlock. Well, no. One of the main advantages to doing Dark Flyer is that it's mostly very, very good on
ありがとな
mages with rescue, that's what it is. Rescue. So anyone who gets rescue tends to do very, very well as a Dark Flyer. Mostly because their ability to fly with the rescue range really pays off. But anyone excels really well as a Dark Flyer just because it's a flying class and it uses magic. The fact that it doesn't get any other built-in bonuses and its bases are really, really shit, none of that really matters too much when you're using Dark Flyer. Mostly because the characters don't care about that, they care about using the Dark Flyer's flying utility in tandem with their support-oriented spells. But it even works on more offensive-minded units like Lysithea and...
格が違うのだよ
I'm not sure Lysithea counts as an offensive-minded unit, but... But yeah, it also works on them too, so that way they're able to easily get into range and out of range, so that might be something I want to keep in my mind and consider for Lysithea. Well, at least via Hilda going forward. We'll see. We'll see. Right here. There we go. Finally got her into the right spot. Not quite a kill, but we'll just finish fisting you with Balthus.
暴風薬剤好きに呼びな
Yeah, starting to think that energy drink was a mistake. Oh, good God. I am getting a little bit tired. It's very weird. Yeah, maybe I just have a weird interaction with energy drinks, but they tend to have me crashing almost immediately afterwards. Or, well, in this case, about an hour afterwards. And then I crash, and then I wake up, and then I feel more full of energy, which I think is actually the more optimal way to use them. Or make use of energy drinks, I suppose. Food for thought for later.
よくやってくれた
Anyway, one other useful thing about those two quests that we just finished is that the battalion reward for them, the Merchant Military, it's the only E-rank battalion that I'm aware of off the top of my head that actually affects magic. So, for characters who you want to train as mages, but haven't had a lot of time to pour authority into, it's generally a good idea to get them into the, or not get them, give them those merchant militaries, so that way they can have some slight boosts to their magic stat. Because, yeah, the battalions are often the best way to fix up any problem stats for your characters, and battalions make up the main reason for why weird meme-related builds actually work if you try them out. Because Hilda and Caspar, they're not traditionally mages, but I can give them battalions to boost their magic output, magic staff to boost their damage output, and they'll probably be able to deal some enough damage. Some enough damage. Yes, that is a sentence I just said. Alright, I need to buy one more beginner seal for Marianne. Marianne might actually be another interesting choice for a Dark Flyer. She actually has boons in the 2 stats Dark Flyer's like, but she doesn't have a very good reason spell list. Well, no, actually she does. She gets Thoron and Cutting Gale, and I guess that's all you really need. Basic reason spell is Blizzard. No, she doesn't have a reason. Never mind. Alright. Never mind. But she actually does do okay enough in Dark Flyer, but pretty much everybody would. Even the boys would probably like Dark Flyer if they could get into it, but they can't because it's girl exclusive. Because I hate gender-locked classes. You know, that was one of the good things about Fates, is that none of the classes were gender-locked. Well, except for the DLC, but we don't talk about that. And like, on the one hand, I guess gender-locked classes can lead to some more creativity when you're coming up with ideas for what skills for units to get. But in practice, it just makes me lament that the students I like can't get the skills I want just because of their gender. Alright, I have a couple bullions to sell, so let's sell those. I don't think I got anything else. Oh wait, Sylvain. Oh, that's right, that's something I forgot to mention. When you recruit students out of house, they'll always have something in their inventory based on whether they're a commoner or not. So if they're a noble, they'll have a bullion in their inventory, and if they're a commoner, they'll have a stat booster. So which one is more useful can be very variable, but generally speaking, I find the stat boosters to be more useful. But recruiting a unit who is a noble, just for the jits and shiggles of it, that can tend to be very, very useful. Alright, here we go. Let's see, we already restored that. Do I have enough to repair anything that was potentially broken? Potentially. Well, I might as well repair that Iron Lance. She may need 2 Tempest Lance.
こちらですね。ありがとうございます。
Otherwise, I think we're as good as we're gonna get going forward. Alright. Let's make sure we got everyone useful things. Right. Magic +2. I'll go ahead and drop Battalion Desperation. I don't expect Lysithea to get much use out of that. Desperation as a skill, what that will do is if you initiate the attack and you are in the range for Desperation, if your unit can double attack the opponent, they'll launch both of their attacks before the enemy unit gets to get in one. It only works on player phase, though. It doesn't work on enemy phase if you combine Desperation with Vantage, unfortunately. Claude, did you get to C already? You did not. Okay. Lysithea is at C, but Lysithea does not count. We do want to get the merchant military. I want that on Hilda, like I was mentioning before. And the other one, guess I can give it to Lorenz. Oof. Yeah, they give you 2, but if you only have enough to do one of those, or enough thingamadoodads to only do one of those quests, then you can just do 1. And then make do with 1. Alright, so this map is very, very long and tedious. I recommend the slow and steady approach. One thing to keep an eye out for are these 4 archers. As you can see, they are able to attack over the walls, and if they do so, that is very, very bad, because they tend to trigger the AI to move in a different way. Normally, a lot of these units will just stay still, but if these archers move past those units, or start to move, then the units they move past will decide to go with them. So if you bait one of these archers and then they move past the boss here, Miquelon, Miquelon will start charging your position. And then as the archers move out of this room, these guys will start charging your position. Then these guys, then these guys, then these guys, and then before you know it, you have to fight everything right around over here. But that is not what makes Chapter 5 difficult. Chapter 5 is actually a pretty difficult chapter, because this will be the first time we have to deal with ambush attacks.
助かったぜ。
私に任せてください。
Based on certain triggers, where there are going to be enemy units that will spawn once we meet those conditions, and they are going to spawn at the start of the enemy's turn, and they're going to get to move right away. So that actually makes things extremely difficult. Because you then have to plan around where the enemy spawns and have to account for that. What makes it even worse, though, is that the enemies who spawn are thieves. And thieves all have the skill pass. So you have to plan your formations keeping pass in mind. There are a few ways to handle it. Having Catherine here is definitely one of those ways. Since she is in an advanced class, she naturally has much higher stats than these enemies do, she should be able to double most of them, or at the very least, not to get doubled. Both of those factors massively increase her durability. More importantly than that, though, is she is also very capable of dealing a lot of damage to most enemies if not outright. So, very, very handy to have Catherine available for this chapter. That's part of the reason why I recommend recruiting her. It also makes this chapter a bit more difficult for the Black Eagles, because Catherine cannot be recruited into the Black Eagles at all. She does become available on that route if you do Silver Snow on the Silver Snow route. But she only becomes available at during Chapter 12 if you grab her for that. It can be very tedious. The same with another character I could grab but didn't, Cyril. He will not join the Black Eagles. He does not join the Black Eagles unless you go down Silver Snow, which you might not want to do, actually. Silver Snow is he would send someone down to pop that open. Fun. Alright. Oh, right, and then Gilbert. Gilbert is completely useless on this map. It is possible to keep him alive, but you have to play very conservatively. But as you can see, he has no attack speed. His resilience, or resistance, is extremely low, and his defense is kind of good, I suppose, but that 0 attack speed means he gets doubled by literally everything. I don't think there are any enemies with 4 or 3 or less attack speed. And since you have to have 4 or more attack speed compared to your opponent, Alright, anyway, there is the first demonstration of our ambush spawns. So, go ahead and start beating up on Gilbert. And even with his extremely high defense, he's still doing that. But he did get a kill. He normally just misses and dies because they decided to give him no usable skills. Let's see here. I want to keep Adele close. Honestly, Claude is probably, or Lorenz probably is the most useless unit to have over here. So I think I will. I don't know if I wait, I'm gonna forget about that chest. Send anyone over there. We'll send Caspar. No. Let's send Lorenz. Let's send Lorenz. And then I need to get my Scythia up. That's one. Alright, I think our formation is good enough. These guys are gonna finish off Gilbert, most likely. Definitely. Oh, he survived. And he got another one. Oh my goodness, this is the most useful I've ever seen Gilbert. It actually is more than possible to keep him alive through the entire chapter. Difficult, but very possible. Alright, let's just go ahead and, normally have to start planning, but no, we're good. Let's just move Marianne over. And, I don't want to move too much farther forward, because, there's actually going to be a long group of ambush spawns coming from, back there. So I want to be ready for them. Instead, what we're gonna want to do is get Mary. I'm gonna use Leonie to draw these guys out, and then she'll take less damage because she's standing next to Balthus, who is a man. Everyone else is good. Let's move it down. Oh right, I keep forgetting. One of the pay-to-win stat boosters from the DLC is a pair of boots that boosts movement by 2. It's insanely brilliant. Alright, and I think the next wave will spawn after we deal with these mages. Okay. It's whatever. Only does 2 if I use magic. Alright, let's go ahead and use our Iron Gauntlets Plus to see if Balthus can get that kill. I just realized that Balthus who were those
Bofu, Yakusai, Tsuki Yomiya!
It's fine, it's fine. And Leone curb shot this guy from here. Yes, Caspar can go in and get the kill. Not quite, not quite. I'd say not done. Actually, which does he give a curb shot? 3 more. I believe Advocate only adds 2. That's 3. Tricky. Unless if I just attack him right here. I think I'm in a good spot where she misses. She didn't. But if she did, I think I got with.
私を侮るからです。
We're good. Okay, let's get these bad boys healed up. There we go. Oh, right. I want Lawrence to master his beginner class, and then here I am sending him on a fetch quest. Alright, here's that second wave. As you'll see, they all have battalions equipped. That can make them a little bit difficult to deal with. Although I tend to find that they're usually stronger enough compared to your my own units that they tend to prefer to attacks from one or attack regularly rather than just going for the battalion or the gambits, whatever I should call it. Alright, and then as for why I found it so important to go to that chest there, as you saw, it has an armor slayer. There are armored enemies on the map, so having an effective weapon to use against them is very, very handy. Alright, let's go ahead and equip Caspar with an Iron Axe. Let's get my Scythia out of there. Balthus in range to start fisting. This is up there. Okay, we got Catherine in range. I need to marry Anne. Stride. Oh wow, this guy just killed Caspar. Rewind. Okay. Let's get Lysithia out of there. Shows us that
私に任せてください。
it's one-rounded. Okay then, we're gonna have to change up our plans.
今金の落ち事が
おっしゃー
Let's
私ですか？
far over here.
私ですか？
Enough. Yeah, and he takes 22. Alright, that'll be perfect.
僕の出番のようだな。
Alright, let's try this one more time. And he even hits, so that's a cheetah. Alright, next we turn those guys off.
なってきやがったぜ。レスターの格闘王は健在だぜ。
立ちふさがる者はみんなぶっ倒す。
I'm thinking I might need to
さ
stride
あどうするんだ？
First, it's very important to take this guy out. Double check to make sure if I attack that guy melee, Alright, yeah, we'll be good. We'll be good. Okay. I can save my stride. Although it would be very important to make sure this guy
焦らず戦おう。
dies before he can attack. And I think if I use sort of a creator, I can also hit that mage as they're swinging my way.
いい勝負
Now,
ができた
I
ね。
do need to heal up Balthus. Let's have Lorenz do that. And if it causes the enemy to want to target Lorenz instead, that's
いいとこ見せねえとな。
looks like I'm gonna go for Caspar because there's a bow equip. I think we should be good. Okay, let's do this thing. Closer. Caspar is saved. Yay. Also, yay. Level 10. She'll be able to go into whatever intermediate class I feel like. Although, since I've been focusing entirely on her ability to do this, she doesn't immediately meet the qualifications for any of them. If she was Gyleth instead, then I'd be able to put her into
ぼちぼち動くか。
Brawler, but that's not an option for ladies. Now, give me just a minute.
はいお疲れさん。成長の手応えありだ。
礼はするぜ。
私の勝ちでいいよな。
I think we're good. Okay, okay. Sorry about that.
まだまだか弱い乙女ですよ。
The merchant military leveled up a bit. It doesn't look like it much now, but I think once it levels up enough, it is able to yeah, it'll start boosting magic damage. Alright, anyway, that was our first major obstacle taken care of. And if you did actually want to clear this chapter very quickly, all you have to do is warp Catherine up there to take on the boss immediately. You have to take him out on player phase. And then strike before you do that, so that way the enemy will, or that way you can do the second boss fight of this chapter. Which is, spoiler alert, it's Miquelon in beast form. He turns into a big black beast. Yay, level up. And he got magic. and he learns Recover,
手を抜いた
which is the strongest spell in the game. Oh my goodness. Protection. How much will those thieves get? 23. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to math out. The next ambush spawns will show up right here once you move past this pillar. So I want to make sure Balthus will be able to survive the hit, which I believe he can take them on. What makes it tricky, though, is that there's two of them. Actually, I am thinking I should get this kill with Caspar. My reasoning for doing
歯応えの
that
ねえやつだったな
is that pretty much everyone else I could have gotten that kill with is able to get healing XP.
悪いな
So I don't actually need to worry about
助かるぜ
experience. One other option, I guess, for dealing with those thieves would be to have Catherine go up there solo, have her trigger them, and then run back. That is another option. I actually did do that once with an overpowered unit before. I think it was Overtrained Dial at that time. It was a little bit luck-based, but I managed to pull it off because they will have to eventually deal with all the thieves, and there are only 2 waves of the thieves.
面白くなっ
But
てきやが
the
った
other
ぜ
option, which is what I intend to be going with, or what I intend to go with, is to just put your units into a cube formation with the most durable on the outsides, and then the healers and the squishy units on the inside. So, I'm going to put Catherine right there. We're going to build up the formation as best we can before we go forward. Caspar's defense 8. Yes. He's even more squishy than Hilda, and Hilda is a squishy mage. Okay, we're gonna have Caspar be on the inside instead of out. Hilda can actually go outside. Adele is one of my less tankier units. Unfortunately, Lorenz isn't online yet, so we can't enemy phase for this chapter. So I might want to pause on my side. We'll see. But Claude is going to go on, so I can have him on that side too. Cynthia there. Caspar. Alright, I'll have to make sure wherever I put Leonie, she has a gentleman collar right next to her. Evil Plan will be Caspar right. I eventually have him right there. Now we can put Adele there. Let's put Leonie here. Let's see him a little bit forward. I guess I can have Lorenz in that spot. Hilda here. Alright, I think we're almost set. We just have to... Yeah, I think we can just get into position now. So we're gonna have Hilda there, Claude here, Caspar to this spot, put this in case. Cynthia move up one, put Adele there, and Balthus here with friends to support him. Honestly, it probably works better, but you know what? This is a little bit shoddy and hastily done. Anyway, there are the thieves. And then also those thieves spawning also triggers those guys to move forward, which is why you want this formation closed off in this particular fashion. Or why it's good, I should say. So we have Caspar attack this guy. Good job, Caspar. I guess I could feed that kill to Adele. Do I really want to? Here's what we'll do. Nosferatu. So that way we can Tempest Lance with Leone to get the kill there. I believe we have yeah, she has close. So that's what we'll do. And I kind of want all this to get that kill, so let's go for it. Leone. Yeah, fortunately, Vulpus's defenses are so high that if they did go for him instead, they'd just do scratch damage. So very, very useful. Claude's tanky enough. He's got Hilda there to boost his damage, and I think we're good. Anyway, yeah, there's two sets of them. You also have to be careful with the unit in Claude's position, because I think the thief that just spawned on the other side is also in range to reach him if he wanted. So that unit also has to be able to take damage. It's the reason why I got Catherine on the corner on this side. She's and then Claude over here, because it's Claude. He was more than durable enough to take 2 hits as well. Alright. And we have Claude equip his Iron Axe. That means Hilda can deal a bit more damage and has an accuracy boost. That kill to Hilda, though. Yeah, she needs the experience the most. Okay, let's go for a curved shot. Guaranteed hit. Alright, and then, to be a little bit tricksy, we're actually going to have Hilda attack from right here. Oh no, she missed. That's fine. Alright, Lorenz, you're up. Alright, the reason I want Hilda to stand there is so that way she gets an advocate boost and a support bonus to Claude if he curves shots from right here. Or on the other side, either. That is called a pro gamer move, kids. Speaking of other pro gamer moves. Oh my goodness, she doesn't double. She usually doubles. I was thinking she would double that guy and be able to easily kill him, but now we don't quite have the power needed. No, never mind. Vulpus can just one-shot him. Leveled up. Oh, his stats are ending up so lopsided. Fortunately, once he promotes, that'll be fixed up. Let's see. Well, I think Lysakia is the only one. Yeah, she's the only one in range I'd want the experience on. And she got it. Good job, Lassie.
ざっとこんなもんです。
Yay! Alright,
Sega.
Mary Ann, let's get you some healing XP. Now, we're prepare for our next wave. Alright, so next, we need to lure this archer out, and ideally with someone who can counterattack. But because he's an archer, he attacks from 3 range, so you need to be able to hit from 3 range. So if you have a unit with Thoron, that works. With Hilda, or the Chalice of Beginnings, which I also have. Alright. That kills somewhere. Let's just feed it to Claude. Go.
ヒルシクラッセを甘く見たか
A few units we can heal for some easy XPs. Let's see. Caspar and Rin. Let's have Lorenz heal up. Actually, let's have him heal up Catherine. Lorenz and Catherine actually have supports together. I might not be playing for long term, but at least I can build up that support right for when she's around. Always useful to have things like that. Right. So let's see. I'll just go there. And I suppose I could put myself in range of those archers now to lure them out. Start that enemy out. Yay! Oh, not so yay. Oh, wait, no, it's fine, it's fine. Interesting. We have something that works on him. It must be Counter Strike. Yep. Okay, that does effective damage against armor units. I never knew that. I've honestly never used it before. Alright, then. There we go. Good job, Claude.
悪いが俺の勝ちだ
Someone else take out the archer. But it's fine. It's fine. If no one else is in range to soften that knight up, Catherine can run around him. 9. Get him down to 9. Caspar does not hit range. Yeah, I think we should just go for the kill. Alright. So Thunderbrand. Thunderbrand is the other main advantage to recruiting Catherine. Sword, basically. Its hit rate is a little shaky at 70%, but with 13 might, it is significantly stronger than it is, yeah, significantly right. Significantly stronger than pretty much any other brave effects you could have at this point. So definitely worth getting. Alright, I need to try and focus on Leonie. She's the only one. Well, she is one of my only ones who has not reached level 10 yet. The other one being Lasithia. Then Hilda. Back here, so that way she can Thor on this guy. He has 0 attack speed, so very easy to double him, but he's also very durable, and he knows a combat art. He's one of the very few enemies that actually has a combat art, and he will make liberal use of it. I believe that guy is strong enough to start doubling, or not doubling, one-rounding your units. Alright, I think we're getting close close enough to the end of the map where I am in a much more advantageous position if I let Catherine start pulling enemies. But we'll see, we'll see. At the moment, though, we are going to focus on getting everyone else into position. But this guy, you do want to take him out, because in his inventory he drops accuracy ring, which just gives hit plus 10. Not exactly the biggest boost, but every little bit. So we want to make sure we have every little bit we can. It doesn't matter which one gets the kill. If I can't, this is good. Oh, Sophia's got it. We're good. Experience. Okay. Yeah, I'm not as worried about the about my mages hitting level 10 or magic units, since they can use healing spells and abilities to get their experience up. Alright, let's go ahead and equip your iron sword. I think only the archer is in range. Not 100% sure about that. Friends, let's see. Has to heal Claude first. That juicy experience. And I believe he only needs to do 3 more things, and he'll have Monk Master. Very. Oh, right, I thought about low HP builds. They're very viable in 3 houses, not just because the skills related to the skills that broken, but because, as you can see, 3 houses is a very player phase oriented game. You normally do not need to worry about fighting enemies on enemy phase nearly as much as you need to fight them on player phase. So more often than not, you use 1, maybe 2 units to draw your opponents out, and then you use the rest of your team to kill them when they're close. So, yeah, basically, low HP builds are very easy to manage because you don't really need to concern yourself with having to worry about the enemies or enemies on the retaliating, because you basically already killed them all. Yes, that is the thought that has been finished. Need Catherine to finish that other guy off, so we're gonna here, just like that. I guess oh yeah, now I definitely have no reason to deploy Riff Raff ever again. So take this guy down. We'll just use Thunderbrand. Catherine's Breath is actually one of the better ones in the game. It has a 70% chance to boost her damage output. Only when using combat arts, though. Since it's such a high percentage chance, that makes it pretty reliable. But even with it being pretty reliable, it's still not something I would, with it activating pretty quick, or reliably, it's still not something I would like banking on turning on for you. Is that how I want to phrase that? Yeah, sure. Okay. Doubles this guy. Yes, she does. Okay, then, here's what we'll do. We'll have Adele attack him right here. There we go. I think Leone can take this guy out. She can. Leone's also been getting a lot of speed level ups, so she's more capable of doubling now. Hooray! Let's see. Should I have moved? my plan was to have Lorenz heal Adele, but I'm not.
ありがたいね
There we go, there we go.
ありがとう
Okay, healing, that's warp. Yeah, I only have one warp, so use it wisely. It restores at the beginning of each map, so it kind of makes warp insanely broken. But yeah, actually, if I give Catherine the chalice at the beginnings, I can probably just take those archers out before they start triggering the avalanche. I'm not gonna risk it though. Only now 6 more divine pulses. Alright. Let's see. Leonie is, I think, on the cusp of level 10. And Lysithea are nowhere close.
これでいける
And that's in spite of Lysithea getting a kill on an advanced enemy. Or an enemy in advanced class. But I think what determines how much experience an enemy rewards is their level and not their what class they're in. Because we have been fighting enemies in intermediate classes the whole dang time. Okay. And then I probably should be hurrying up because there is a turn limit of 999 turns, and we've got 26 of those already. So wasteful. Okay. I'm not sure if I want to actually have Catherine lure the enemies out. I want to actually use Leonie instead. As you saw, that one guy tried to hit Catherine with a gambit, and if that had landed, I probably would have been in serious trouble. I was kind of lucky that they missed. But, I mean, if it had hit, I would have just had to reset and try again. But yeah, let's go ahead and have Leonie pull this guy out. Looks like he's not gonna go for the gambit, so we're due to there. I've been fortunate and I haven't needed to use my second stride, so I have that available for emergencies. Or an emergent sequence, whichever you prefer. Alright. Don't know why I decided to whisper that. I don't even know if my mic would pick up my whispers very well. Eh. Oh, that was a different app. Oh, right. She dealt no bad because she had, actually all armored enemies have that armored blow skill I was talking about. So they have defense +6 when they attack. So, rule of thumb. You attack with, or you use your enemies you use your units the farthest in the back to lead assaults, so that way, they can, but so that way they free up, that way your units who are closer are more likely to be able to get to their, be in range of but, you know, it's always worth repeating. Anyway, that's why I want Lysithea to attack that side. Choose our farthest back.
ざっとこんなもんです。
Okay, now quad attack here. Quad for range for the Rum / Adele. Adele Rum. And then Catherine the Great attack this guy. You may not have much of a bow to work with at the start, but she doesn't even need it. Maybe with the experience let's use Hilda. Up. And we shoot you dead. There we go. Leonie is now level 10.
これしか取り柄がないんでね。
Hilda, Lorenz, and the other
気合の
one. Lysithea. That's it. I believe Lorenz can. Yeah, that's in range to heal up. Woo!
ありがとな
Oh, that guy wants to gambit because, well, I don't know why he wants to go for Catherine over Leona. I didn't to worry about his range more. Catherine has the chalice, so if anyone is going to be pulling the enemies, I do want them to hold that. But I will be able to use Catherine for it. Yeah, Overform and Master
さす
Monk.
がは僕だな。頂きはまだある。
And I got him magic plus 2. Let us pull up Adele right here and trade for the chalice. We're gonna want to get her healed up. Fortunately, no one can get in range to heal Catherine. Oh, wait, not
いい判断だ。
have Lysithea use drawback. And then there we go. Let's get Claude closer. There we go.
どう
Alrighty. We don't need to worry about this guy or this guy. That guy would be able to reach anyone who attacks this guy from one range. 5. That to ideally be Catherine. Alright. But I would also want to put the chalice back on her. So let's have Adele fist this guy down. Oh,
こ
no.
の経験は糧になる
Levels. And what does Catherine do using an iron sword? She slaughters him. Good job, Catherine. And next, we take advantage of our super trade strats. So we move Claude here. We take the Chalice of Beginnings, and then we put it on Catherine. There we go. Now one of them has to attack Catherine because she's the only one in his range, but the other one does not. The only two people to heal are Balthus and Adele. We want to keep Balthus's HP low. Now the Master Monk, which is very, very good. Since she is a non-standard mage, she definitely wants magic plus 2. Or, yeah, she mastered Monk. Yeah. Non-standard mage. Now we just need to focus on Lysithea. Hope these guys go Catherine.
その程度。
Dead.
これが私の生き方だ。もう一暴れ。
Of course, one of them goes for Adele. How rude. Okay, but I believe that means we have him in range to Thunder. Your deed has been sealed, so. Oh wow. Let's go for it. Alright, now I think
私を
Hilda is
侮る
the
から
only
です
one I need to get the experience for. Which means I can beat her this boss kill.
成
Hooray!
果は出
And then I definitely do not have enough return seals. I forgot to even buy them. You know what? It's fine.
やっ
Some methods getting a few more. Faculty members you recruit will always have an intermediate seal with them. So as we saw earlier, Catherine had an intermediate seal in her inventory. The unit I intend to grab for the next chapter, Shamir, she'll have an intermediate seal. And then Cyril, a guy I could have grabbed but didn't, he'll also have an intermediate seal. We are gonna need a butt ton of those, and I've been neglecting buying them because I haven't had the spare cash, and then I just totally forgot for this chapter. I don't know if I can afford it anymore. Anyway, the point is, we're gonna need to get a metric butt ton. And getting a metric butt ton is exactly what I plan to do. But before I can worry about intermediate seals, we need to finish this chapter. And finish it, we shall. Alright, so how does Hilda do zapping? She does about 20 points of damage. Alright, let's start with Lorenz.
貴様らも俺から槍を奪おうってのか。
I don't know why I was Alright, anyway, you notice there he took 10 damage. That is actually the only in-game side effect to using what's called a hero's relic. If you do not have a crest, you take 10 points of damage. And that is very easy to abuse on Miklan here, because you can have someone attack him for relatively no damage, and he'll still take 10 in addition to however little they did. Yay, cutscene.
ガキの分際でやるじゃないか。なんだよこれ。何が。やべえ。
お主
You
そやつのような相
sassy
手と
lost
戦
child. Alright. Anyway, yeah, this is our first encounter with a beast. This guy is actually programmed to always prioritize Adele unless you do something to change his targeting parameters. So that is something that can be very easily abused. Wait, let's just use an iron bow. Oh, no, again, I want to hit him as hard as I can. Does that? Okay. But it also weighs her down, so where she gets doubled. So that means we actually need to equip the other one. Alright, so back to the Iron Bow it is. Gaming. But yeah, even if I put someone in range that he could one-shot, the Black Beast Niklon would still prioritize going after, Adele over whoever else is in range, because for some odd reason he just does not like Adele specifically. Not sure why. Even if you bring Sylvain, who he supposedly hates with the searing red hot passion of 1,000 burning suns, he'll still go for Adele if he can. The only thing he'll prioritize more than Adele is anyone who hits him with a Gambit. All beasts are programmed to prioritize whoever hits them with a Gambit. There is a character, Happy, who has a personal skill that boosts the damage she performs. Makes enemy monsters prioritize her, so that could be a thing that happens as well. I don't know if that overwrites the beast Violet. Possibly, though. Anyway, when you attack these shields, you actually only deal a fraction of the damage you can do. Which can be annoying. Gambits, even if they don't deal any damage, will always break barriers. If your regular attack doesn't deal any damage, that will not break the barrier, as far as I remember. And then if you deal effective damage, that will break a barrier from full health. Otherwise, they usually take 2 hits, except for the primary section where again, that only takes 1. Alright, anyway, we're gonna fist him now. Wait, why am I leading with a doubt? I should be hitting him first. Hilda. Before we do that, actually, we should probably let Balthus get the kill, so that way I'm giving the experience to somebody I am. Yeah, and then on the turn where you fully break a monster's shield, it can't counter-attack. So go nuts. Catherine, she's gonna do so much damage. I doubt she can do much. I can do 2. I think 2 might be enough. 2 is not enough. Okay. Excuse me. So rather than wasting our time trying to hit the Black Beast, we're instead just going to heal up Adele. She is going to need it. And then we Hurt Shot. Let's see here. Next unit who attacks is going to get a level up. I think we want Claude to get one of these kills. Next, we want Balthus to enough durability to chip, so we'll take Hilda's bow. Restored HP. How unfortunate. Next, let's have Hilda attack over here with Thoron. Hurt Shot. Good job, Caspar. The Seraphim will finish the job. heal Byleth again, then Lysithea might be able to finish him.
これでいける
少し
Lysithea. Actually, let's go with Leo. Oh, dodge. Thanks.
よっと
I think Lorenz can soften it up a bit more. How many doubles now? Hooray! That crit chance is what's scaring me, so I think I'm gonna go with it. She's most likely going to get the kill.
迷いを晴らすせいや
Stage complete. Woo! Balthus was the MVP. Balthus is so amazing and attractive. Have you seen his abs? I have. Unfortunately, they're all we can see because he'll never take his jacket off. Alright, this is an unskippable cutscene because this is the cutscene where if you pick the right dialogue options, you get to keep the,
よく
Lance
戻
of
ります
Ruin.
ことの点かの
So,
塔では
first you
必殺
select-
フォドラと同化
it doesn't matter which one you pick
あの
here.
英雄の
Say, I will not.
Yariwa.
She does not like that. And then if you have Sylvain in your group, he
失礼します
walks up
レア
and claims the Lance of Ruin, and you
時
will
代の
have
語
access to it for the next chapter.
ですその木
はい
If you don't get the Lance of Ruin there, you... Oh, I should repeat that. If you don't get the Lance of Ruin
Sensei,
there, you get it
お疲れさん。
from Sylvain's Paralog, which is very, very handy as an alternative. Alrighty, this chapter...
白雲の章
chapter. Alright. Anyway, we are getting close to the time when I should be stopping. Oh my goodness, I've been going at it for 2.5 hours. My jaw is... Actually, it doesn't hurt any more than it does normally. Lindhart. Lindhart wants to talk. Hi, Lindhart. Loading, loading, loading. Alright. Yay, we got Lindhart support rank up to C. A Lindhart is one of the most low maintenance out of house units to get. I would honestly recommend just getting him up to A support, or sorry, not A, B support as soon as possible, and then going from there, and letting him join you as soon as he possibly can. Lindhart also gets warp like Lysithea does, but he learns it at A. But unlike Lysithea, when he's out of house, he auto-trains Faith. So that is very, very handy. I don't even know what class I want Adele to go into. I'll probably make her go Thief. But first, we need to use the few intermediate seals I've currently got to get people into other classes. Actually, I think I will do that off screen and I can show you guys the results a bit later. Well, no, actually, I don't know if I'll remember everything. So, you know what? We're gonna do it now. We're gonna do it now. We're gonna try to do it now. Did I already save? Yes, I did. Alright, so Balthus failed that. How dare he? I do want Balthus to pass Archer first. I want him to work on that primarily before anything else. It could get tricky, though. But basically, for the intermediate classes, I would like for Balthus to master Mercenary and Archer. He definitely... Well, I guess I could view either of them as optional for him to master. One of the classes he's going to go into later, Hero, will have the Mercenary's Mastery skill, Vantage, as a built-in skill. Vantage lets him attack first whenever the enemy attacks him, but only if he's below 50% HP. So that couples well with his personal skill, since he'll also have more strength and defense. if he's below 50% HP. And then I also intend to get him Defiant Strength, further boosting his defense, or his strength when he's below 50%. And it will also give him more, what's the word I'm looking for? I honestly don't know what word I'm looking for. In any case, we can attempt, since he failed that, we can instead attempt to have him go mercenary for now instead. He failed that too. Okay, well, I'll just try to have him pass one of those later in the week. Or I should say month. Later in the month. Alrighty then. My apologies for needing to reset so much. Balthus should have studied harder for those exams. He has failed us all. But I also need to keep track of how many intermediate seals I'm going to need for now, and then how many I'll need later on. So how many do I currently have? No, that's beginners. I've got 7, and how many units do I have that I want to change classes for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I only need to get 1 more. Okay. We're Gouda. Alright, so let's start by having Claude pick up Brayden. I mean, I'm also going to want to get another set of 8 intermediate seals. I love the look of the Brayden class. Lorenz is actually going to go Archer before Priest. Like I said, he definitely needs hit plus 20. I'm going to try and have him fight on enemy phase. He's going to be my one guy who lures enemies out, or one of my one guys. Lysithea is going into Mage. Mage gets Fiendish Blow, so once she masters that, she deals more magic damage on player phase. So pretty much every magic unit wants to go into that, also like Hilda. Mage also innately allows every unit to use the basic spell Fire, so it's a very easy class to level up in, even if the character normally doesn't learn very good magic skills. Kasparu, he's going into Armored Knight. And then, yeah, for other units who want to get out of house, I'd say Chapter 6 is usually the very latest point for getting any of them. Since Chapter 6 is when they start going into intermediate classes, it's basically the last point where you are able to get them early enough to start training on their intermediate class skills, because while they will automatically build some weapon ranks when left to their own devices, they do not earn class experience. Yay, Leone passed Brigand. Alright, and I think they need 100 experience points to, or class experience points to master these classes. So, yeah. Alright, and then for now, since I'm having Byleth fist people, it doesn't really matter what I put her into. And she failed, so there's not even that to work with. You know what, we're gonna call that here. Next time I'll probably try to have Balthus and Byleth pass something, so that way they can be in intermediate classes. Well, I don't know if Byleth really needs to be in an intermediate class. You know what? Whatever. Point is, I'm gonna